Hello everyone and welcome to PMeVIDYA channel. You are watching also NCERT official YouTube. My name is Dharmendra Singh and this session is going to be very crucial, very important, because this session named is webinar, where we talk about various tools of ICT fields. So here we already have got the crucial one. So what exactly we are going to talk about, I'm just going to give you a glimpse. I'm going to introduce the topic now. It's creating notebook in OneNote. If you're making notes, which is a very good habit, if you are making this, how you can make this in OneNote. So that's how you will be able to understand in particular session. Okay, so related to this, if you have any questions, any query, you can get back to us on our toll-free number. You can see the toll-free number on your television screen, 8800-440-559. Apart from this, you can send your questions if you have in your mind, of course, your suggestions as well through through your mail. The official mail ID of webinar here is on your screen. That is training@cit.nic.in. So you can send your questions, your suggestions through mail as well. Before I introduce the expert of today's session, I would like to tell a few things about her. You can see on your, you can listen this and then you can imagine that how beautifully we are going to learn all these things through this particular topic. All right, she is CBSE awardee and also a dedicated educatorist with over 8 years of experience as a teacher, mentor and trainer. 28 years, you can see that is quite impossible, but which is incredible. Luckily we have this kind of teacher in our country, so that's amazing. And secondly, you can see as an alumnus of Lady of Sri Ram College, Delhi University, with a master degree in economics and also business administration, and she has already been associated with leading institution in Pan India. Lot more we have a part of this basically. All right, so without making any more delay, we are going to introduce the expert of today's session. Please welcome Ms. Aarti Chopra, who is a principal in MIT International School, Sector 46, Gurgaon. I welcome you, ma'am.
Namaskar, sir. Namaskar, everyone.
Your voice is coming a little bit slowly. If you can speak a little bit harder, little bit high, please, if you can.
Yeah, Namaskar, everyone. I'm
Yes.
so honored to be presenting at NCERT CIT portal.
Right, that's how we can hear you properly. Okay, so creating notebook in OneNote. How could you introduce this topic to our audience? We all are waiting for curiously without making any more time.
All right. So, yeah, shall I start my presentation?
Yes, please. All time is yours, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. Thank you, listeners, for coming online, for learning about something which is so integral to all of us, and that is how to go digital in recording our work, in documenting our work, in having a kind of arrangement that could be conducive both to the teachers as well as the students, not to forget the school heads. Creating notebook in OneNote. That is what I'm going to tell you today, and I'm very happy to be presenting this, because I come from Amity International School, as I've been introduced. I am the principal of the school, and I must tell you that we have been using this tool for over 8 to 10 years now. And now, especially during the pandemic session, during the online teaching time during COVID, we found that OneNote came to our rescue. It was such a blessing to have the teachers being competitive and energetic in knowing this tool so well. So OneNote is a teacher's all-in-all digital notebook for teachers and students. Now, why do we need a digital notebook? All of us are so well versed with notebooks, papers, isn't it? But I think it's time. All of us are so SDG conscious. We want to protect the environment. We want to save the paper. So therefore, to have good competence as per the needs and requirements of 21st century, where we expect our children to be critical thinkers, to be collaborators, to be creative, the best solution to save environment is going for digital notebook. It not only helps in delivering the content, it allows us to work in collaboration. It allows us to give private feedback to the children so that they may not be hurt. Because when in school, a child's paper is corrected and given across, and the child, if for example has not done so well, the child feels little hurt. Whereas in a digital notebook, the child's identity is protected, and the child only gets it what he or she has deserved. OneNote is a digital notebook which automatically saves and syncs all your notes as you work. So you don't need to go again and again at the cross button and save it, because it auto saves all the work that you are doing. You can see what the interface of this notebook looks like, and it is in front of you. As you type the information in your notebook, or you insert a media, or you record something, it gets auto-saved. You can also put handwritten notes in it. You can highlight your notes, you can tag them. You can also share or collaborate, notebooks with others. You can even access your notebooks from any device. If you are working on a laptop and you are traveling only with your phone, you can access the OneNote on your phone as well. So it is very, very device friendly as well as net friendly. OneNote earns its place in the classroom. It truly earns its place because it helps us, the teachers and principals, to organize ourselves better. We are able to assess and collaborate. We are able to present the content very well because we are having all the things at one place. It allows the flexible teaching styles, and we are able to present them wirelessly. Yes, OneNote works even without internet. Searching and tagging is so important, and so is empowering all of us to teach in this competitive world. Now, I would like to show you something which is very important, and that is a tiny little video which is going to make the things even more clear, because visual stimulus is something that we all love, don't we? And
OneNote is your very own digital notebook. Whether you have a million ideas, a million things to do, or a million things to remember, OneNote is the perfect app for capturing pretty much everything. Type notes or record audio at your desktop. Sketch or write ideas on a tablet. Or add a picture from your phone. And because all your notes are in the cloud, OneNote lets you switch devices and pick up where you left off. And once you've captured everything with OneNote, you can organize it however you want. Freely move notes around the page, organize those pages into sections, and keep your sections in one or more notebooks. OneNote can capture it all and help you find it instantly later. OneNote is as structured or as unstructured as you want it to be. You can even share your notebooks with others, so you can all view and contribute at the same time, turning a few isolated notes into a resounding symphony. Learn how to use OneNote to capture, organize, and share everything that matters to you at office.com/training.
Well, you just saw it, and I hope it has made the things much clearer to you that this is how OneNote functions. And it has also shown you that 3 different people sitting in 3 different directions or even countries might be having a lot of distance of lots of kilometers between them, but they are able to communicate, connect, work together with the help of OneNote. Now, how do we open OneNote? To open OneNote and to begin with it, you need to go on Office 365. You need to have Office 365 downloaded on your system, and rest of the things become much clearer. How do we create a OneNote? This is a very big question. We start with a single notebook, and as we start with a single notebook, we know that we have to open OneNote for Windows 10. Next, we move to the Show Notebooks button, and alternate the text. And at the bottom of the list that opens, we click the plus notebook button. We type a name for the notebook in the notebook name box, and then we create the notebook. So this is how we are able to create a notebook. I'll now just show you how do we create a notebook online live. I have typed office.com in my browser. Yes, you can see it. And over here you can see that I have got OneNote written in this purple color. I'm going to this and opening it. As OneNote opens, right, you can see all my notebooks lined up. These are the notebooks that I have been working in different ways, okay? And now when I want to create a new notebook, I go on this plus sign and I open new notebook, right? And I give a name to it. Suppose I write my name on it because it's my notebook, or it says the name already exists. So I'm writing the name August 4, 2021, suppose, and I create the note. So this is auto built in, and it is very simple to create a new notebook. Now, when you see a new notebook being created, this notebook is obviously empty. So what you need to do is you need to now go on home and you need to start inserting various things in it. You can add section to it. I can write first section and the section gets created. Similarly, I can also add pages to this section. I can write A section and then I can add one more page which says B section. So in this manner, one can open the sections and pages in OneNote, right? This is one way of opening OneNote. The second is through the Outlook ID, right? This is my Outlook ID homepage, right? Outlook ID. So all organizations normally give Outlook IDs. You can see there is a grid here. When you go on the grid, you will see all the tools of Office 365 present over here. You can find OneNote. Again, this OneNote can be opened in a new browser, and I am able to reach August 4, 2021, the OneNote that I've just now created. I'm reaching A section, and this is the part of the first section that I've created, and the first page is A. So I can now start writing in it, and I don't need to save it. It will get auto-saved. So I've just told you two ways of opening OneNote, and the third is that I can just search for OneNote, because if I have Office 365 downloaded in my system, then this is an app which is already present in my system. So through the search button also, I can open OneNote like this. Okay, going back to point in this category is yes. I have already shown you that how we open OneNote. I have also explained to you how to create OneNote. And now I'm going to tell you how to switch between different OneNotes. Because in just like a notebook which has got different sections, similarly even the digital notebook has got various sections. The OneNote, it lets you keep several notebooks open at the same time, all right? And it is easy to switch between them. It is also easy to click the Show Notebook button, alternate text, and in the list of open notebooks, you can click the notebook you want to work on. And then to return to the previous notebook you have opened before, you can repeat the next step, right? setting up a OneNote class notebook, there are three important things. One, there are individualized instructions that you can give. And next, you can have rich multimedia content in it. And also, you can have meaningful feedback given to your children. Let me show you how different kinds of OneNotes are there. This is a OneNote of a teacher. This is OneNote of a teacher's OneNote. And she has got her lesson plans lined up, right? She's got the eyes have it. And then the next lesson plan is the bull called Delightful, okay? And she has also got her syllabus. A teacher needs her syllabus to be on her tips. Yes, this is her syllabus. Now you can see how she records her assessments of her children. All the marks are recorded in this manner. They are neatly stacked up. PA1, PA2, all the marks are neatly stacked up in the OneNote, and it is auto-saved. She also has the list of bright students. You can see the bright students list, and she has the list of weak students. The teacher has also kept her workshops that she has attended. She's kept the class test links. So, dear listeners, these are the things which have been extremely useful during the online teaching times. Let me show you now what does a class notebook look like. Another notebook which is of grade 11C, you can see the teacher has recorded all the students' work. Arushi Singh, then we have Advait Garg, we have Anshul Saha, we have Aryan. So let us see what Arushi Singh. So this is the OneNote that the teacher has shared with her students. Each student has further saved up her work very neatly over here in this OneNote. You can see this is her final term answer sheet which is being saved, and her practice papers which are also saved, and you can see the PDFs. The remaining PDFs are also visible. When we touch this PDF, we can see that they open up and you can see the entire PDF. At times when the net is slow, one is not able to see them fully. Now let us look at what her physics papers look like. Now look at this. This is what her UT papers or unit test papers are. The papers are corrected by the teacher. Teacher has corrected the papers and marked them. And the child has kept all these things recorded. So through this, remember in the staff rooms, we used to have so many notebooks stacked up. Nowadays, in OneNote, you can keep the work of all your 50, 60 children like this. This is the investigatory project, the certificates that are being compiled by the students, and they are neatly stacked up. You can see her English work, how the child is saving her English work. Let us go to another child. Let us see Aryan Sai Gati, how Aryan has saved his mathematics work. You will see that it is not only the test assignments that the children are saving, but they are also saving their assignments and minimum learning programs. See, this is how the maths book is there, which the child has scanned and the child has saved in this OneNote. Now, if I show you another notebook, which is this is how the notebooks are stacked up. You can go from one notebook to the other, right? Now I'm showing you another notebook, which is of general studies. You can see in this how different work has been saved and how this work is visible. The visibility, if you see, and this is the work of a teacher, and she has saved up the work of the children's inputs. You can see how different videos which the students have made, multimedia videos. The teacher has saved them up in the OneNote, and she is able to stack it and play it, and this makes the learning so easy. So like this, the teacher is able to show the work to everyone, that how the work can be stacked up. You can also go further and see how the YouTube videos of the TED Talks given by the children, they have been saved up. So then there is a ready reference. It is not only videos, it is not only comments and papers, it is also got to do with the thought behind it, that you want to have all your work saved down.
Hi, Arushi Singh will be speaking on the topic science.
Right. So now,
Recently, I researched about the topic nanotechnology.
okay, so we go back to the home page, and I am taking you back to my presentation to take you further. Yes, how do we get the most out of OneNote classroom? That is, what all are we able to do? You just saw that the teachers have been doing assignments. They are distributing the assignments to the OneNote. They share it with the parents through a unique link, so that each child gets only that part which he or she is supposed to see. And the child can save his identity. One can also give the feedback on OneNote, which is so important, giving feedback. As in the new education policy also, we have learned as school principals and teachers, timely feedback given to the children always helps them to improve. Now let me take you to another beautiful feature of OneNote, and that is Immersive Reader. Immersive Reader is another wonderful feature which can do a full screen reading experience it can give, and it can really enhance the reading habit, even for those who are suffering from dyslexia or dysgraphia. As you all know, those who are suffering from dyslexia or dysgraphia, they have problem in reading or writing, or not able to convert, what they are listening correctly into words. So OneNote has got this beautiful feature, the accessibility feature called Immersive Reader. How does Immersive Reader help the students? Well, it plays the written text as sound. Yes, I'm going to show it to you. It translates the original text from one language to another language. Isn't that wonderful? And also, the original text can be translated and changed and played in any other language. Also, it helps the children to adjust the spacing, increase the size of the font, and read it as at their comfortable levels. Okay, so I'm going to just show you how this thing works. Okay, you can see a OneNote open in front of your eyes. Here, I will be taking you to the immersive feature. Before that, I'm showing you insert. When you go on insert button and you just press on it, you can insert a picture from file. The file you need to choose, it could be from your desktop, and you can choose a picture and you can press on insert. So any picture which is there on desktop or also from internet, it can easily come and get saved on your OneNote. You can similarly upload a file. You just saw this is the picture that I have just now shown you, and this picture now can be grown, or it can be shrunk, okay, or it can be deleted as well if you want to. I just deleted it. You can draw freely. For drawing freely, there are two tools. There is a pen given. So you saw the teachers have been correcting. So I can see that I'm writing here with the pen, the digital tool. I wrote the word August. Can I draw? Yes, of course. So I am here drawing, something which can be, it can be according to my mood or anything. And if I want to erase it, well, there is an eraser also. I can erase. Yes, there it goes. So it's so easy to draw. Now look at the view feature. In view, when you go on view, you go towards Immersive Reader. This is the feature that I was talking about. This is a very interesting feature which is of great value to the children. Yes, I'll just give you the live demo for this. You can have the choice of selecting a female voice or a male voice. So let us go with the male voice first.
Notice General Studies, Grade 11. Dear parents, greetings.
Right, so I'm pausing it. Now I want to hear a female voice. So I am going to play.
Greetings. The students shall resume with their classes after summer break on.
Okay, now look at the right hand side. There are text preferences. I can increase or decrease the size of the text. All right, and the next feature is parts of speech. This is a brilliant feature. You look at the nouns. If I am going to strike out the nouns, you can see all the nouns have got highlighted. The students, parents, classes, CBSC, it's got highlighted. I am now clicking on verbs. Now, shall, resume, develop, stipulated, expose, all the verbs have got highlighted. Look at adjectives. You can see the adjectives have got highlighted. Moving ahead, look at the line focus. This is one feature that you can
15th June 20. The purpose of orienting students to general studies.
Yes. So the children who want to read line by line, this feature helps them. Now suppose I want to read in Hindi, right? So I'm going to go back and I have closed the line focus. I'm going to now take you down to some Hindi words. Let us see how our own language.
कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती बटा सोहनलाल द्विवेदी लहरों से डर कर नौका पार नहीं होती.
Well, I was not speaking that. This was being spoken by the Immersive Reader function, right? So going back, this feature is really interesting and it helps the children to have better understanding and it helps the children to, develop their language facilities, especially when they are in the younger years. And there is a feature over here of inserting wherein you can even put the links. Okay, going back to my presentation, I'll now take you further and I'm going to tell you about OneNote Staff Notebook. Now, this OneNote Staff Notebook, there are two types of notebook. One is the notebook which a teacher shares with her colleagues. That is called staff notebook. And the other is a notebook which a teacher shares with her students, right? I have shown you both of them. So in this staff notebook, there is a lot of collaborative space, a space for everyone in your group to share, to organize, and to collaborate. There is a content library where the teachers can save the videos or other media which they keep showing to the children. There are private notebooks also which can be shared between the leaders, school leaders, as well as the staff members. OneNote Staff Notebook helps us to save time. Oh, it's all, the entire class is on one platform. It is so easy to see how my teachers are working. I feel I'm blessed to have this tool in school. Collaborative effectively is important because without collaboration, children cannot go further. Getting more and more organized. You can see that it teaches you how to handle the data. The data could be in the text form, video form. You can record your own voice as well. The staff leader, whether it is a principal, vice principal, or head of departments, or the class teachers, there could be any kind of leadership these days. Or the class monitors, it depends on to what level you have leaders. They all are able to access the others' data, easier to learn, and it works on all kinds of platforms and different devices. So I must say that OneNote, it inspires a lot of creativity and It helps us to do multitasking, which is the order of the day. It is very important for all of us to know that doing many things with the help of digital tool is possible. So why not try and make things happen? As I told you, in case you want to record your own voice or you want to save a picture, all the options are available here. You can even record voice. You can make things possible. Now I'm going to show you one more thing, and that is Teams. You know, Microsoft has given us a beautiful tool through which our entire school, like we have been running Microsoft Teams throughout this time, and I have 120 sections in school and we have 120 teams. So on all the teams, the students and the teachers collaborate and online teaching goes on. I will show you the staff notebook now, how Microsoft Teams has got the feature of staff notebook here. It's taking time to load, and through this staff notebook feature, you can see all those people who are there on this team, that is AIS core group. You can see their names here. We have Anupam Sharma, Anupama Mehta, Gopa Bose. All these people, their OneNotes will be available. So this is how the staff notebooks are easily available, and where we have the students teams or class teams. For example, if I have the class team of grade 3, then over here also, wherever we have class notebook, this is a class notebook where the students' work will be there. So the class notebook is established and this class notebook is available for all the children and they can save their work. So I must tell you that through this concept, and sir, if you have any questions, you can ask me, because most of the explanation I have already done. I can revise a few more concepts and we can take it to the next level.
Yeah, certainly. We have got a lot of questions, but that was the impressive explanations what we have done certainly about this notebook or OneNote, what we are talking about. Okay, so first thing is that how has one helped during the pandemic, during online classes? I think this question is going to be very, very meditative. Lots of class, online classes being going on in these days. So how this particular app will going to help them if we especially talk about under the pandemic situation?
Yeah, thank you for the question. That's very, very pertinent. I must tell you, when the pandemic broke out, we were not prepared for this. And suddenly when the children and teachers and we all had to be at home, then we had to take recourse of digital tool. And that is when OneNote came in very handy. We didn't have any notebooks with us. We didn't have any textbooks. Some of them had it because the session was closing and the new session was opening. Through OneNote, we were able to organize and plan the lessons. The teachers planned and organized and saved their lessons. The students were able to study and save their work and get it corrected by the teachers. So all the assessments and all the correction work of the tests that took place, it was saved on OneNote. The parents were also able to see the marks that the students received through OneNote. So it was as if the whole school was using it. Teachers were using it to teach. The principal was using it to check whether her teachers were making good lesson plans. The teachers were using it for saving their lesson plans, saving the unit tests of children, saving their marks, and also saving their creative work. So OneNote came in very handy during the pandemic. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so now one more thing we all would like to know about this accessibility, whether everyone having this, actually note on their, personal hands or not. So is this tool accessible to everyone or is cost affecting? I mean, is it free or they have to pay something for this?
Yeah, yes, this tool is really very handy. It is absolutely free, and all you have to do is you have to download Office 365, and through Office 365 this tool can be accessed. And there is something called as accessibility tool, because Microsoft is very consciously working towards it, and that is, we have children of different ability. Not all the children in the class are bright. You see, I showed you in my teacher's plans, we have different sections of children. We have very bright children, we have average students, we also have slow learners. So in fact, OneNote comes in very, very handy as an accessibility tool for those children who are differently abled. If a child is having, a problem to hear, listening disability, or a child is not good at his spellings, he does not want to say it, the teacher is able to record in her voice the correct pronunciation and leave it on OneNote. Not only the child can repeatedly play it and hear it again and again, but also even the parents can help the child, knowing very well that the teacher has recorded the story and kept it for the child. If the child is not very good at writing the spellings, then the teachers give them dictation. And when the dictation is given and the child listens to the words, the child is able to hear correctly, and that's how the child puts down the correct spellings. So when it comes to the senior students, this is about the junior school, grade 5 to 8. In the senior school, of course, we have many children who again have a dyslexic problem. For them also, understanding a concept with the help of videos, with the help of saved up multimedia, with the help of diagrams, concept charts, various graphic organizers, and graphs, as well as world maps. All these things are readily available. It is very easy for children and teachers to save it on OneNote and can be easily accessed. So the teacher has to work only once. She saves it and then she shares the link of OneNote with her children. So what happens is this link is shared. In fact, the email ID of the children is included in the OneNote, so that every child whose email ID is included gets a notification that OneNote has been shared with the child. So all the child has to do is, I'm talking more about the senior students, to click on the link, on the shared link, and access all the information that the teacher has provided. So I must tell you that during this pandemic time, when we had a number of students who were having different type of dyslexic problems or dysgraphia problems or attention-seeking behaviors, we worked with them on this accessibility tool, that is OneNote, and we were able to give them a lot of relief. My special educators, they have worked further on this, and they have come up with beautiful modules with which they are helping the children and come to terms with their disabilities. So I think it is a great tool through which we are trying to actually equate the society. We are trying to equate those who are lesser able or differently able and giving them as much as we can.
No, absolutely. That's why the role of parents and counselors and teachers were so important. Of course, you can also code your parents' role into this. That's why ICT fields have done remarkable job in this field. After all, once we talk about the pandemic situation, so you can code that 1.5 year seriously into this way. Okay, let's move further, and we all would like to know from you. See, if we have internet accessibility with us, then yes, we can enjoy any of the tool. We can take the services of this particular one. What happen if I ask if there is no internet accessibility available, especially if I'm talking about the rural areas, but actually they would like to learn something from this, as the accessibility of internet is available on the other area if I talk about. So is OneNote is available on offline as well if they would like to learn something? So kindly we can say yes, is it?
Yes. So what I wanted to say, even if the internet or Wi-Fi is not working, once the tool has been downloaded, and it has been saved with Office 365, even with in offline mode, OneNote is adaptable and it is workable. So anyone and everyone who wants to access OneNote and work offline with it, they can work. And once they get, the connectivity, it refreshes itself. So even the previous work is joined up, and as such, OneNote is not expensive. One doesn't have to, spend money on it. It comes free with Office 365. As I said that, if you are able to create an Outlook ID, whether a personal ID or an institutional ID. Institution is if you're connected to an institution, they give their own ID to you. Even with personal Outlook ID, you get the grid, and on the grid, you have the OneNote. OneNote and OneDrive, they are nicely connected. So whatever information you are having on OneDrive, it can be brought to OneNote, or your PowerPoint presentations, saved on OneNote. And this tool can enable, it is very cost effective. It can work even in offline situations.
Absolutely. Ms. Chopra, usually what we do, if we are making some notes, we are going to exchange to our friends, actually, he or she, whatever it is, as we have been doing this profoundly. So how this OneNote is going to help if we are going to make, some notes. So rather than while writing something, how this note can work into this way easily, rather than if we are using pen or paper.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, actually, how is OneNote digitally better? I think that's what you're asking, than the real pen and paper notebook. Yeah, so I would say that it allows you to save the information and retrieve it at any point of time. If you remember that when we were children, every year we used to give up the books, one set of books, and go in for the next set of books. And we would not know where our previous year's books have gone. But with OneNote, you can create different sections in it, different sections of years. Suppose year 1920, and all your learning is saved up. Year 2021, year-wise, you can save your learnings. You can create your own memories. How when you were in grade 11 and how when you were in college, what were the differences and how were you working in different, sections and in different forms. Definitely a notebook with a pen has its own charm because you're able to have the pleasure of exploring with a pen and paper. But if you look at the long-term gain, if you look at the cost effectiveness, if you look at what the 21st century expects from the educators of today and from the students of today and from the school leaders of today, I think OneNote comes in very handy. I think both of them are in their own places. It is better that we don't compare them and we use them, knowing that the qualities they have and enjoy them as much as we can. Because both have their own benefits But for the futuristic of tomorrow, I would say that digital notebook is definitely going to stay and is going to be of great value in future for all the schools.
Absolutely, precisely, and this particular app having lots of qualities and characteristics, but still, if you would like to, just the level or the grade, you generally suggest being using particular this OneNote.
Can you just
Should I repeat my question again? All right. So what I'm actually asking is, at which grade level do you generally suggest begin using OneNote?
Yeah. Actually, when I went to US and Germany, I've seen even kindergarten children sitting and using OneNote and writing their, sketches and all. There is no age to
correct.
using OneNote. The children can start as early in grade 1, or if the parents feel that too much of exposure to, internet is not too healthy, I think from grade 3 or 4, they can certainly start and they can become very competent. But let me tell you, in my school, even grade 2 children are very smart and they come up with such great presentations which they create on their own. So it all depends on, how the tool is taught to the child to handle. So this is also an education that we need to give to the child. Simply giving the child an iPad, teachers need to educate them that how the tools need to be used. And if the child of younger years learns to be more creative digitally, why not? If the child has the innate talent and potential to explore digitally and is comfortable using the tools, why not? But then I feel the right age should be 6 to 7 years when the children can start working on OneNote. They enjoy it much more. And of course, there has to be a right balance between, like in Pragyata guidelines given by our government, it clearly is defined that, how many hours of online screen is allowed at different age groups. So we as a school have been following that. And I think similarly, the parents should also ensure that children don't get too much of screen time. A bit of half an hour or 40 minutes for grade 2 and 3 students is pretty doable, and it can be given to the children.
I think 2 or 3 days back, I have just received a question live. One of the learners says that I'm not able to understand anything because a lot of things in these days going on through online. So online study is going to be harder, little bit of little bit to them. I think it's going to be excess, I would say, as per if I understand their complaint. So what you would like to suggest them, but we have no choice until we are not getting complete overcome onto this pandemic situation. So till then, if they are continuing their work, so what suggestion you would like to give to them if they are going to study from morning to evening, that is consistently content is going on? So at least we need to understand their aspect as well. So what exactly they can do to get this overcome until we are not finding final situation or overcome situation that yes, that's fine now. That's a very serious matter. So what exactly we can do into this?
Very valid question. I must say it's the most pertinent question today, how to strike the right balance. Because whether it is studying or it is, some of the children are doing even yoga classes or Zumba classes, or they're doing the online creativity, they're doing everything they're doing through internet, through the screen. So as you just said, in our school, what we do is we have, marked out and developed certain exercises for eyes. Number one, every teacher who's taking a class of 40 to 45 minutes or 1 hour, every 20 minutes there is look away from screen exercise for 20 seconds. It is inbuilt in the system. So after every 20 minutes, the child is asked to look away from screen and go off the screen for 20 to 25 seconds. And this is one way. And the other is that there is a gap of half an hour between two classes. No classes should be held continuously for the children, and they must get a break from the screen. They must be engaged, especially during the pandemic time, in doing some activities where they get to be experiential, whether it is with plants, grow plants or work with them, or kitchen is the biggest laboratory wherein the maximum experiments can be done if you are at home and you're not able to go to school because of pandemic. So children must be given enough experiential experiences away from the screen so that the screen time is not prolonged continuously for very long time. This will enable the children to enjoy their creative work more frequently, and being in sync with the nature is extremely important. During these days, our children, we have told them that this has been a practice in our school, that every child must grow a new plant on his or her birthday, must gift only plants to the others on all the festivals. So every activity should not be just based on digital work. There has to be pleasure, there has to be happiness that the child must learn to get even from being in the lap of nature and sitting creatively in the open space outside the house or in the front of the house, so that there is a balance. We have also been doing pranayam everyday basis. In after every period, there is a pranayam exercise where breathing exercises are taught. They are taught to do meditation as well, which is guided meditation and guided visualization. So when the children are doing all this, they are closing their eyes. So they do get a break of 4 to 5 minutes, even within their class of 45 minutes.
I think that is very necessary. If you'll do some exercise, you will take some certain breaks in between. You are going to connect it with the next class. So I think that will help you. And if you will follow this advice, which has been explained by the expert, so you will not going to face any problem, I think, physically or the mentally. We have a half minute left, ma'am. Any message if you would like to deliver to our audience of what it should be?
All right. Yes, I would say that my message would be that OneNote is there to inspire creativity. And every student or every listener must think that no matter, we are working from home these days and we are confined to our houses. Let us not let our spirits go down, and let us enjoy the creativity that the digital tools offer to us, and use them as much as possible on as a teacher or as a better student.
I think, and that is very easy. No need to do anything extra. All right, so we are finished with the time, but thank you so much for watching this incredible session of learning, and I'm extremely grateful to our guest who enlightened us with their immense knowledge and intellect. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. That was very nice to keep me. You made me talk such wonderful things that I never really thought that I could share with the world. So I'm very thankful to CIT and CRT for this wonderful session. Namaste.
Right, and I really hope after watching this session, you will definitely benefited tremendously. So don't miss this session. If you missed it, no need to worry. Link will be available on NCERT official YouTube channel. You can definitely watch there once again if you missed it. So that's it for this for webinar session. Now, next is Sahyog is waiting down there just around the corner. Stay tuned.